All right, all right. Hello, Gun Nation. How's everyone doing this evening? I've been saying hi to everybody, but we'll do it verbally. We got, let's see, let me get back up here. We've got DB in the house, Josh Benware, if he's still here. I hadn't talked to Josh in forever. Hope you're doing well. He's one of my other Texas brothers. We got Threat Cadre, another Texas brother in the house, makes hell of a comps for the staccatos and soon to be magwells. Uh, but he'll go over that with y'all, or Lakeview Outdoors, Dennis Buckner, Mike High, yes, and we will talk about that. I already had that on my notes about Liberty Safes. Lynn Holtz, Pistol Pete's in the house, and we've got Dirt Track 410. I'm sure more will jump in here. Let's see. We got Chessboard. Hello. Hello, Abigail. 2A Tommy. I used your code on a couple lock grips orders recently. Thanks, Big J. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you very much. Hello, Pancho Villa. Long time no see. But yeah, and I was gonna say, if y'all ever want to get lock grips, for the stands, the grips, I mean anything they have, you can use my discount code. It's BJGG10. That'll save you 10% off everything. But yeah, I did want to get into it. Hey, Rich B. Yeah, it's definitely hot, man. It was like 105 today. That's just the regular temperature, not even the heat index. It was definitely hot today. I've had some comments. Wanted to talk about those, and of course this Liberty Safe deal. And a customer gave me something that I wanted to talk about too, and I thought that was kind of cool. So we will get into that. Hang on one second. Just writing this down. There was one other thing. All right, we got Rocket Man, M. Gabriel. What's getting old? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. But we will definitely get into that. Yeah, usually, something's bugging me. I'll have a little thing that, kind of like a teaser. It's getting old or something, but we're going to talk about it. And of course, the comments and stuff that I've been getting. This is what it was. Hang on one second. Hello, Floridian. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Tonight we've got some Buffalo Trace in the house. So just poured this one. I love Buffalo Trace. Pretty much my go-to, but it's hard to find. And I'm rocking a little CZ hat this evening. Had a lot of questions about the CZ Shadow 2 compact. Still getting a ton of questions. Am I going to buy one? Have you seen one locally? Blah, blah, blah. Man, I've been so busy, I haven't even been to Texas Gun Experience, so I don't know if they have one or not, to be honest with you. They might, but I don't know. But yeah, I noticed Honest Outlaw got his and already put up his video of it. Looks like he really likes it. He did make one of the statements that I said, about the safety being thin. So I know that's probably, and he's got big hands too, so that's probably going to be an issue. And again, something you could train through, sure, but if it takes a Shadow 2 ledge, if you can put that safety in there and have that ledge from the OG Shadow 2 full size, that'll be awesome. So if it'll fit, I don't know if it will. I would think it would, but I don't know. So hopefully somebody tries it. Hell, Honest might try it because he has, I think, two other Shadow 2s, so maybe he would pull one out and stick it in there or something. But and then and then today I was waiting. I was going through a school zone, driving real slow, and then traffic started backing up, and this lady was, driving super slow, and this kid, it was a high school. This kid was on a BMX bicycle, probably, I don't know, 15 or so, 14 or 15. A car is literally driving. He's on the curb. He pops a wheelie. He's on his bike. He pops a wheelie and rides right out in front of the car. I mean, the lady had this far to stop. She was only going like 19 miles an hour. Hit him. He fell over, got up, and he ran across the street, picked up his bike and just ran across the street. And then the lady was, yelling, come back, come back. And all his friends were laughing and all that other stuff. I don't know if they dared him to drive out in front of a car or if he was just, pulling up the wheelie and then all of a sudden he just lunged forward. I don't know what the hell was going on. But I mean, he didn't literally get ran over, but his bike did, and it kind of ripped her front license plate off. So I'm just like, what in the hell is going on with these kids nowadays? So I thought that was crazy. Uh, let's see here. Let me catch back up here real quick. Hello, Clyde Cumberland. How are you? Hello, Red Menace. All right, let me catch back up. And yes, Big J will buy one. You heard it here first. I'm not saying I won't. I love the Shadow 2. Y'all know it. I love it. Hell, I've had 3 of them. I only have 2 now, but because I sold one to a buddy. All right, yes, Taylor, we're going to talk about it. So let's just go ahead and get into it. And I saw the Guns and Gadget deal, so maybe that's, y'all saw that as well. They had a search warrant for this guy, supposedly went to his business, arrested him, and then he's got a camera, security camera on his property, and you can see these cars just pulling in there. You can watch all this on Guns and Gadgets. I just found the information out from him. They've got car after car after car after car driving this guy's property. I think it's like a total of 15 cars once it's all said and done or more, Suburbans and cars. And then they killed his feed. Like they physically cut off his security cameras. They did have a warrant. And the way that Guns and Gadgets explains it is they have a warrant for the property, but if there is a locked safe, I mean, he used to be a police officer, you're supposed to get a search warrant for the locked safe as well. So I don't know. But apparently they released the search warrant to Liberty, sent it to Liberty, verified that they were the FBI, and Liberty released the secret code. Okay, now you can do one of 2 things. You can also secure your safe, even though you've got the lock and all that on it. You can secure it with welding, like basically not rebarb, but like angle iron, but it's the thick angle iron all the way to the wall and kind of encase it. So even if they could punch your buttons, I've seen it where people put the rails across it, welded rails, and then they've got the monster padlock that's pretty much non-cuttable. Not saying someone couldn't pick it, but it slows them down. Or you could actually change out the lock mechanism. So you can buy a lock mechanism for a Liberty safe that is not from Liberty. So you can do that, change it, put the pin in it, and Liberty will never have access the code to that lock. But I don't know, man. It just seems like all this stuff's going on, and there's just another way around something else. And I like Liberty safes. I mean, they've got great safes. I have several of them, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not happy with them for doing that. But I guess if there's a warrant, if they had a warrant to go into that safe, I mean, the way I look at it is they should have had to cut into it or have a locksmith come out and cut into it or get into it, not Liberty just coughing up that, I mean, Liberty's claiming to be 2A and all this other stuff. And, warrant or not, the warrant is not served on Liberty. The warrant is served on the person, which I think is bogus. I mean, it's been, 2.5 years? So I don't know, man. I'm just, this is just another thing of why I'm saying this is getting old. That's just one more thing. All this stupidness that's going on in the world is getting old. All this giving all of our money away to Ukraine is getting old. All of this, looters, rioters, all this other crap, burning cities to the ground. And then you have people go to the sixth situation. I'm trying not to say too much because, this thing's probably already going to get demonetized anyway. YouTube's been killing me. But they don't go after Antifa and, BLM and all that other stuff for burning cities down. They go after this. So I'm just like, what in the hell? So this is definitely getting old. Gas prices are getting old. Food costs are getting old. It's like all this stuff is just compounding and compounding. Interest rates are getting old. It's just getting tired. Very tiring. Hello, David Wilcott and A-Dubs. How are you? Like I said, Abigail, nothing surprises me. I've seen it with the guys on the four-wheelers, the motorcycles in the middle of traffic, shutting down traffic. Some of them have baseball bats busting out windows of cars on motorcycles. I don't know what's going on. Hello, William Bader. Bald and Curious, how are you? Norwood, hope you're doing well. Pour cement over and around the safe to be absolutely sure. Yeah, I've seen people fortify them with, the metal thick brackets like I'm talking about. So it's almost a cage around your safe. But yeah, and you're right, Abigail. They all have this override crap. All right, Norwood's got the same hat. Yeah, these are the orange ones. I've got, I've got a few of these. I agree. They should have told them to pound sand. But that's another thing. All these things we bought on the internet and all this other stuff. I said this forever ago. I'm like, we're all on a list. We know that. Yeah. Joe is doing a fantastic job of sleeping and shitting his diaper. Golly. Home heating oil is almost $4 per gallon in my part of New York. Yeah, and those tanks, don't they hold like, what is it, like 60 gallons or something? Or maybe it's more than that. I heard that it's a lot. Man, that's a bunch. I have a camo one also, a couple of camo ones. I just don't know. I think they might be in the truck, or one of them's in the truck. I think one of them's in the safe. 330-gallon tank. Holy shit. Yeah, that's freaking crazy. Good Lord. Nothing surprised me. That's like it wasn't that much, but like all the auxiliary tanks I used to run on my diesel. Man, I could pack some fuel in there. Okay, so the kid got hit with popping a wheelie. I don't know if he was dared or what. But when I was in Arkansas, I wanted to tell you all this. When I was in Arkansas, I met with a customer, talking to him, in his office, and I looked over and he had these two mags just laying there in this big round cup sticking up out of his desk. And of course, one of them had a blue follower, one of them had a black follower, and I knew what mags they were. And we were talking. I said, "Oh, you like hunting?" He's, "Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah." So anyway, kept on talking, and I looked over at him. I looked over at the cup, and he looked at the cup, and I said, "So do you have a CZ?" And he goes, "What? How'd you know?" And it's a blue follower, so I knew it was a CZ Shadow, or it was a CZ Shadow 2 mag. And then the other one had the black follower, but they're same damn mag, CZ75 mags, full size. And he said, "Yeah, I had an SP01. I had it for a while, and then I sold it, and I found these two extra mags, and I don't know what to do with them." He goes, "You like CZ?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I love CZs. I've got several of them." And he just grabbed them out of his bucket and handed them to me. He said, "Now these are yours." So I was like, "Oh, thank you." So anyway, we had a great conversation, and he does a lot of the 22 NRL 22 matches. He's into that, and he's got some buddies that he personally knows. He owns this business, but he's got some, or owns a business, but he's got some buddies that he personally knows at a certain gun builder in Arkansas. So the next time I go there, I think I'm going to get a tour and the goodies. And if y'all know what gun builder in Arkansas I'm talking about, put it below in the chat. But he's got good. He knows a bunch of people there. Uh-oh. Just got finished talking to my accountant about depreciation on the sale of personal hand tools. Those wireless paper punchers have got to go. Come on down. Face purple crying. Whoa. What the heck? What's going on, Lynn? Yeah, Huey, I can do that. But anyway, so it will be a certain gun builder company that's very, very well known. I want to see if anybody guessed it real quick, and then I'll answer that question. Nope. It's close. Come on, y'all got to know this. Y'all are close. I'm going to look up the. Yes, Lynn, you got it. I was going to say they're in Berryville. Yep, they are in Berryville. So yes, it is not Hawk Custom. So that should be next time. Oh, Checkmate TSO got it officially, but yes, I think y'all might have put it in there at the same time. Yeah, Pistol Pete, they will. The Shadow 2 ones will work. Let's see here. Somebody had a question. Let me catch it real quick. Let me get back to it. Huey. All right. Can you talk a little bit about weapon lights? Do you like for CCW? The two that I have tons of weapon lights. So I've got the TLR 1s, TLR 7As, TLR 7 sub. I've got Surefire X300. I've got the old one where I think it was 600 lumens. I've got the 300 X300 Ultra, and then I've got the X300 Turbo. My favorite two lights that I pretty much use on all my guns is either the Streamlight TLR 7A or the Surefire X300. Whether it be the Turbo or the Ultra, they're both great. And the TLR1 HL is a great light. I've got like 6 of those. So, I mean, they're awesome lights. I even have the old TLR1 shit from, was it like when it first came out? I don't even know how. I mean, it might have been like 500 lumens for that big old thing. But those are pretty much my brands and my sizes. I do prefer a longer light on a lot of guns. I've talked about it before. In case you've got to gut check somebody, it will help keep your gun from going out of battery. It's just a personal thing. You don't have to have a standoff device like that. Comps work the same as well. But that's just my opinion. So I've had great luck with them. I beat the crap out of them. I do not baby them. I've frozen them. I've thrown them up in the air. I've done all that crazy kind of stuff. I know Honest broke a lens out of his. It still worked. But, he threw it on that jagged pea gravel rock thing, and it just happened to hit just right. I mean, glass can break, but you can replace it. It's not a big deal. But let me catch back up here. Rock Chalk, what's your current carry load? I've always carried Federal HST. Was wondering what else everyone else's favorite is. Mine is Federal HST 124 non plus P. I just carry 124. Had really good luck with it. Never had a reason to change. I also have Spear as well, but my dominant is HST 124. So I've got a ton of it loaded up way back when it was reasonable. I ordered like 2 cases of it. So I'm good, but I'm just not a big plus P guy. Ed Brown, I have owned Ed Browns. They're great guns. Um, Bald likes Olight. I've broken 2 of them, and I don't agree with their. And also, they kind of fell off the face of the earth. Nobody's whoring their stuff out anymore, if you notice. I think for a small, CCW light, it is really hard to beat the Streamlight TLR 7A or the TLR 7 sub. I think those are pretty much the gold standard for small lights. And if you look, that's who everybody's making holsters for. They're not making them for all these weird other lights. The new updated ones with the paddle buttons are awesome. I love them. They work great. But yeah, and I mean, if Olight works for you, hey, use it. I'm not telling you not to. It's not worked. They've not worked for me. Now, maybe they're newer ones. One was a Balder. They were when they first came out, but oh, matter of fact, and I try to get them fixed. I was one of those testers for Olight. Tried to get them fixed, and they blew me off. So I'm like, what the hell? They're like, do wanted, do video. I'm like, my shit's broken. I broke the piece of shit. Underwood is good ammo, very good ammo. I do have some Underwood as well. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with Spear Gold Dot. Someone was asking, I saw the question, I probably went right by it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a lot of questions. Someone was asking me about yeah, Taylor, we talked about that earlier about Liberty. Someone was asking me about a shotgun. Oh, here it is. If you had to choose 4 of the semi-auto shotguns, which would it be? Benelli M4, Benelli M2, Beretta 1301, Beretta A300. For me, this is just me, none of the Benellis. I like Benelli. Everyone will love Benelli. They run great, and it's really going to be your choice. But because of the safety, I use Mossberg. That's my go-to because of the big safety. I can't do the little stupid push safeties. My fingers are too damn big. I've got safeties like that on some shotguns, and I hate them. I mean, when I push it, it's almost like my fingers just right. I mean, it's going right into the trigger guard. So they're just not for me. I've shot Benellis. I like Benellis. They run great. Nothing wrong with them. But I'm just, you know, I have the Mossberg 590A1. I've got the Mossberg 930s. I've got 2 of those. And I have a bunch of Wingmasters. I've got Brownings. I've got, other shotguns, but I just don't like the push button safeties. It's just me. 99% of people will never have a problem with them. Just me. Or people like me. Hello, Frosty. How are you? Black Hills is very good ammo. Mm. Is it possible that a 9mm gun could function more reliably using 124 grain versus 115 grain? I've never had a gun that was grain picky. I mean, anything's possible, but that sounds more like potentially a mag issue. And like if you've got springs that are too tight or something, the 124 grain could be, a little more weight. I don't know. That's weird. Anyone else seen the 12,000 likes on a YouTube video? Not on one of mine. Well, welcome, Frosty. I appreciate it. Everybody say hi to Frosty. It's his first time here. Can you chime in on 124 grain versus 147 for carry ammo? Here's my opinion. This is just my opinion. 124, you know how everybody used to say, oh, 45 is way too slow. You need 9mm. On 9mm, of course, you can shoot 90 grain. They make 90 grain 9mm. You can do 90 grain, 120 or 115, 124, and 147. Your most common are 115, 124, and 147. In my opinion, this is my opinion, 115 is a little too fast. And even if you have, hollow points, sometimes it's going a little too fast to open up all the way on 115. 147 kind of brings back, I'm not saying it's bad, but it kind of, everybody's thing about, 45s are slow because it's 230 grains. Well, it's also putting a hole in you that damn big. It's kind of the same for 9mm. If it's 147, it is heavier, so it's slower. So it could lack penetration if somebody's got on a thick coat and a big thick sweater, something like that. I'm not saying it's not going to handle the duty. It's going to work. But if I can get maximum penetration, which 124 should penetrate deeper than a 147 through multi-flannel or denim or whatever else it might be. So that's why I choose 124. Not saying it's wrong or right, whichever one you want to use it. But that is my thought process. I'm not a reloader. I'm not a guru of, ballistics and all this other stuff. It's just when I've shot frozen pig heads, way back in the day, the 124 seemed to work the best. 115, even HST, sometimes would just go right through it, and it would leave a hole, but it was kind of like a hole going in and a hole going out. The 124 would a hole going in, and then it was a big old hole going out. The 147 sometimes would go in and it would not come out. So, I don't know if there's a wrong or a right, but that's just my opinion. Favorite tourniquet is the Cat T. The real Cat T. Be careful where you buy them. You will get fake ones. I've got multiples of the Cat T's. I've got battle belts, multiple battle belts here. Here's one. It's got the Cat T on it right there. I got another battle belt right there. It's got a Cat T on it. I carry a Cat T in the truck. I carry a Cat T in my backpack, and I've got a Cat T in my car, my company car. Because if you think about it, probably, if you're not at the range or whatever, the places you're going to need usually a tourniquet is in your car for a car wreck. If someone's in a car accident, you could help them save their own life with having a tourniquet. I do not use the rats. If y'all remember way back when, I used to carry the rats just because they were convenient. There's been a lot of issues with those, so I do not use the rats anymore, and I do not recommend them. I actually broke one, and I put it on myself, and I don't have 22-inch biceps, but I put it on myself, did the twist, the pull, and all that other stuff, and I broke the clamp off. It actually just broke off. and it was aluminum that they made, and it was a real one, and I broke it, and I'm like, screw that. Frosty is saying, hit that thumbs up. It helps the channel. Yes, it does. I appreciate y'all. Hello, Chicago Mike. How are you, man? Hope you're doing well. Yep, Gen 7. You're correct, Screaming Skulls. Get the Gen 7. What? How many likes do you see on this video? It shows 12,000 likes right now. There's no way. Seriously? It can't be. There's no way. Well, it's not showing me. Because I'm live, so it's not showing me on my end. Well, there's obviously an error if it's showing 12,000 likes. I mean, that would be cool if it was real, and I didn't do it, so I don't have bots supporting this channel. Yeah, and if you are running suppressed, Pancho Villa, hell, honestly, if you're running suppressed, I recommend 160 if you're running suppressed in a 9mm. You can get 150 and 160 grain. They're expensive and they're hard to find sometimes, but the 160 grains are. But just depends on what your application is. I'm just talking about for normal. I'm not going to carry a suppressor on my gun appendix. I can carry big guns, but I don't know about that. Not sure about that one. No, A-dubs, carry what you want to carry, man. Yeah, and see the bad thing in Bald, yeah, you could do that. And y'all know that I have a sponsorship on my gun or on my barbecue channel. And I even asked my guy, I'm like, man, can I get any more of those frozen pig heads? Because I thought, man, if he could hook me up. And he's like, we can't keep them. He said, when they slaughter the pigs and do all of that, the pigs' skulls or heads are now, I mean, a lot of Hispanics eat them. Everybody eats them, but they actually sell the hell out of them. So he can't just, I even asked if I could buy them, but they're expensive. And just to shoot something, I'm like, eh. But anyway, he used to just give them to me, but now everybody's buying them. Like to eat. Yeah, I recommend an IFAC. That's what I've got. I carry an IFAC and a Cat T. And like I've even said, and I've said this, and I've even been slacking. I need to have more, first or training. I know how to install a tourniquet. I was a lifeguard back in the day. I know CPR the correct way. I'm certified and all of that other stuff. But as far as stop bleed and being super, super proficient with that, other than a cat, like chest seals and all that, I'm definitely lacking on it. So I do need to take that. Yeah, the manufacturer on the Cat Tees, God, I can't remember their name. It's something outdoors or whatever. Just hopefully 511 is selling the real ones. I'm sure they are, but don't get them on eBay or Amazon. There's a whole shitload of fake ones. But it's on there. It'll tell you, and you can order it direct from their website from the Cat Tees. And that way you're getting the legit ones, because the fake ones, when you twist them, they can break. They're just all jicked up, just like China rips off every single thing. They're now making fake cat tourniquets. Anything to make a buck. 25 likes. Okay. I was going to say 12,000 likes. Holy crap. What am I doing? Yes, North American. Yes, North American. That's it. Thank you, Lan. That is who they are. Hello, Trigger Bar. How are you? 28. Man, I'm glad. Let that number keep going up. Yeah, I like your Pranic. I like your phone saying that. That's awesome. My wife is switching me to the 10 millimeter. I mean, nothing wrong with 10 millimeter. Yeah, I've used. I mean, in my all of my travels, I've used two cat tourniquets in my whole entire life. Not during a situation of pew pew. They were both car accidents. One was for a leg. The bottom of the dash peeled up when the airbag blew and it caught him in the leg. And then another one was for an arm. So, and of course, when you do it, you put it on, you lock it down, you're supposed to sign it. I didn't have a Sharpie with me, shame on me. But when the ambulance got there, I told the guy the time because I looked at it with my watch. I told him the time I put it on, so I didn't have anything to write with. To write it on there because you're supposed to write the time, the date, all that other stuff. So I just told him the time I put it on there, so that way he could pass that on to, you know, or he was an EMT, of course. But you know, maxi pads. Yeah, the old thing was, the Tampax, and then I said that one time and got ripped apart, saying don't use those. So I don't know. North American Rescue. Yeah, that's exactly what I was told, Abigail. Exactly what I was told. Get legit medical gear. Do not use that stuff. So, and if I jam that into somebody and something happened, I don't want to be blamed for that. Toxic shock syndrome or something. Oh, IBG, here we go. Got a report. So if anyone is thinking of getting a DWX, I couldn't support you more. Blew the bullseye last week when I got the chance to run it. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. I have not shot one yet. Underwood 10 millimeter hard cast. Yeah. I don't, Pistol Pete, I don't carry 10 millimeter, but I would still, man, I've seen the results from HST and it's just been, I mean, everything, I've shot with it, if I've been able to recover it, I've shot water jugs, I've shot, crap like that back in the day. And I mean, it was opening up perfectly, had the perfect pedal. Um, I just, I haven't had any issues with it just from the past. I don't know if anything's changed, but it's always worked well for me. It's fed in any gun I've put it through. I've just never had a problem with it. Uh, I had someone, and I think they've already made another comment um, because I kind of blasted them, and I think they left another comment. Yeah, they did. Um, I had somebody, how like when I show a gun's clear, I rack it, doesn't have a mag in it, and then I pull the trigger to show that it doesn't go bang. I had some guy trolling me and saying, "Why do you need to pull the trigger? Why do you need to pull the trigger? Why do you need to pull the trigger?" And it's not that you have to. Um, it's just kind of a habit that I've done. But after I showed it was clear, racked it, showed it was clear, no mag in it, and I pulled the trigger, he was like, "I can't believe you pulled the trigger on a video. Can't believe you pulled the trigger. That's unsafe." I'm like, "It's a clear gun." Obviously, he's a newbie. He might be new to my channel. Just ran across a video. The video I think that he was watching was the PO1 versus the PO7. But I'm just like, man, good Lord. You know, and I understand there's new gun people, and I'm not trying to discredit anybody, but I'm just like, seriously? This is not my first rodeo. Um, been doing that for 1,000 years. making sure it's clear, and I put it in a safe direction and pull the trigger. I'm not just wailing it around pulling the trigger, but I have already checked it clear. So get over it, people. And if y'all notice on some of my videos, some of mine are not clear. But guess what? They're in a holster. And I'm like, this one's in a holster for a reason. So we're not going to finger bang it and play around with it. So, you know, it is what it is. Clear gun is a clear gun. Yep. And I'm not pistol waving myself or anybody else, but, you know. Yeah. And this is another thing that I wanted to bring up. And I want y'all's opinion. Okay. As y'all know, I love 308. Okay. 308. I love it. Great round. NATO. Find it anywhere. It's not boutique. I love 300 Blackout too. It's a little more boutique, of course. 308. Y'all know I have a 12 and a half 308. Apparently, on that video, I've had a lot of people, I don't know what made this kick off, but I had a bunch of comments recently from that video saying, why in the hell would you have a 12 and a half inch 308? That's so stupid. 308 burns the best in 18, inch barrels, 22-inch barrels, 24-inch barrels. It's stupid to have a 12 and a half. That's ridiculous. There's no reason to have that. It's so stupid. I think I got 5 or 6 comments in the last 3 or 4 days. And I'm like, what the hell? So I don't know if somebody did a video talking about it and then everybody came over to watch mine. I don't know what's going on because that's not a new video. Here's my point. The reason I have a 12 and a half inch is because I already have an 18 inch. Okay. And I have a 20, I think it's a 22 inch 308. So it is not my only 308. But what I'm explaining on this particular one, this is not my 700 yard gun or 600 yard gun. That's not what this is for. This is for if I had to, go through some concrete, go through some car doors, go through some, say something popped off. A 12 and a half 308 is pretty vicious. It can definitely get through some stuff where a 5.56 pretty much can't. 300 Blackout, it's better. 7.62 by 39 is good too, but it's not a 308. Now, granted, you had an 18-inch barrel, you've chopped it down to a 12 and a half. You are going to lose velocity. I get it. I completely know how that works. But is it still better? A 12 and a half 308, is it still better than a 7.62 by 39? In my opinion, yes. Not a 24-inch 7.62 by 39. That's not what I'm trying to say. But, a shorty 308, except, or excuse me, a shorty 7.62 by 39 or shorty 300 Blackout. It's just got a little more oomph behind it. So if you need to use that for a certain thing, that is why I have it. If I'm wanting to take longer shots or whatever, I'm going to break out the 18-inch, So, like I said, I don't know who has done a video on this recently, but I guess they watched that video and then came over to mine. So that's the only thing I can think of because it's been 5 or 6 in the last 3 or 4 days. Now, if you don't agree with that and you're like, hey, that is dumb, remember, I already have the long boys. I already have them. So that is why I have a 12 and a half inch 308 for certain applications. There's nothing now. If you just say, hey, I'm only going to buy one 308, which should I get? Then I would probably say, hey, an 18-inch 308 or at least a 16-inch 308. But if you've got multiples, why not have a 12 and a half? That's my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Hello, AR Patriot Nation. How are you? And also the 12 and a half, if on my 18-inch 308, when I put the suppressor on it, it's even more of a long boy. The 12 and a half with the suppressor, it's hell, I think, what does it come out to? Like a 16 or something, 16 and a half. So it's definitely more maneuverable. And this is a super, super light 308. It only weighs, without the optic, it only weighs like 7.5 pounds. 410s, man, I haven't seen a 410 in forever. I mean, I still see the ammo occasionally, but I haven't seen a 410 in a long, long time. Yeah, Frosty, it's loud. It is loud and it'll throw some flames. But, like I said, I do have a separate muzzle device for it if I want to run it unsuppressed, or when I put the suppressor on it. Granted, it's still loud, but it is fun. Yeah, Lynn, I've seen good reviews on it, and then I've seen some not so good reviews on it. And I mean, you can get something that works great, some, and then you might get one or two that don't. Um, but like I said, A&R Design got one. He had to do some upgrades to it to make it run correctly. But sometimes that's what happens when you know, they put something together and piece it together. If like the barrel hole, your gas block hole is too big, it can be overgassed, undergassed, all kinds of different things. And you might have to tune it, change the buffer, change the spring. You might have to do some things to it, or put an adjustable gas block on it. Yeah, it is. That 12 and a half is super fun, suppressed. I mean, it's fun no matter what. If you want to throw some fireballs and piss some people off, it'll do that too. Yeah, Bald, you need to get the hell out of New York. Um, Also, in a go bag, I had actually a couple people ask me, like, what do you keep in your go bag? And here's the thing that I do, and this is just a personal opinion. Um, I've always got a 9 on me, and backup mags in the go bag for whatever 9 I have on me. But I also carry a 22 and quite a bit of 22 ammo in my go bag. And I've had people go, "Why do you carry a 22?" Um, in there. And like, if depending on what's happening, now it's not a 22 rifle, it's a 22 pistol. But depending on what's happening, if I've got to, hell, get off grid, not that I'm a, prepper or any of that kind of thing. That's not what I'm trying to say. But, having a small 22 for, if I'm with my wife or, whomever or whatever, having a 22 also, just if I've got to hunt squirrels to feed us or whatever, um, I've got that. So I do carry that with me, because I could arm my kiddo with it. I could arm my wife with it, not for defensive purposes, but just, to have something that she's comfortable shooting. So, yes, I do carry a 22 in my go bag as well, and a lot of ammo for the 22 and a suppressor sometimes. Which 22? It is the SIG P322, because that's pretty much my suppressor host. The tricked out tandem cross Taurus TX22. It's more of a competition pistol. It is fast. It's super fast. It's like the Ferrari of my 22s. It's so damn fast. My wife can shred with it as well, but I don't find it very manageable, like to stick in your pants and do all that other stuff, because it's got, it's the competition version, so the optic sticks up. The holsters don't work for it. It also has a gas pedal on it. So where the 322, believe honestly, on my 322, I run the TLR 7A, and it's got the threaded barrel, and it fits right in my Armsman, and I've even talked about that. It fits right in my Armsman CZ P10C holster for the TLR7A. It fits it perfectly, almost like it was made for it. So if I'm carrying my staccato, I'll stick that one in the P10C holster, and it works like a charm. Yeah, and that's the thing, chessboard. That's my whole point. You can carry a ton of 22 ammo, and it does not weigh you down. And I've even shown it. I've shown it in tons of videos, and people laugh at me. But Gatorade bottles, you know, those little Gatorade, you can get the little Gatorade bottles or the big Gatorade bottles. Those little bitty Gatorade bottles, they'll hold like 300 rounds of 22 long rifle. So I just get the same ammo out of the same lot box. I pour it in those Gatorade bottles, put the top on it, and they are waterproof. I've buried them in my backyard under a sprinkler, one of my sprinkler heads, just to test it. They're 100% waterproof. Did that years ago. So Gatorade bottle, and I'll even put a little silica pack in there. Y'all have seen it. And tighten them down real tight with my tightness, not my wife's, and throw them in the go bag. And I've got 2 or 3, I probably have 700 rounds or more of 22 ammo in 3 Gatorade bottles. So, and the neat thing, you can stick them in your back pocket. You can stick a whole bottle in your back pocket. So, and I've got, I think 6 or 7 of the P322 mags. I've got about 15 of the TX22 mags, but just a thing that, you know, if you want to do it, you know, just something I carry in mind. I have the 25 round mags for my M&P 1522, but I don't have any of the 25 rounders for the P322. Mine are the 20 rounders. Yeah, you're right, Rock Chalk. They have. They definitely have. I appreciate it, Pistol Pete. Hit that, yeah, damn, 40 thumbs up. I appreciate it, people. Y'all are awesome. Or I shouldn't say people, I should say family members. We are all family here. Let's go ahead and kill this last drink. Man, that's good. I just got that bottle of Buffalo Trace because, like I said, locally, right around me, it's hard to find. If you do find it, you can only buy 1 bottle. Not that I'm a, you know, 2 or 3 a night bottle drinker. I'm not that, but you know, and I have other selections, but oh, AR Patriot says, chilling this evening, cleaning engine parts the past few days. What engine? What are you doing, man? Let me know. Let me know. You know, I'm a gearhead. I remember those days cleaning parts washers. Hell, I built a couple of parts washers, home ones. I have Crown Chicago Mike. Not that it's bad or anything. It's just it's kind of played out with me. Um, it's like I said. I've had it. I drank it for years. Nothing's wrong with it. It's just I kind of get tired of it. So I want to. I do other things. And then I have a bottle of it now. I don't like the flavored ones. I'm not into that apple Crown and all that crap. I've tried it and I'm like, I don't like sweet stuff. I like some stuff with a little bite. Um, Currently, I have Bibb and Tucker. I have Blanton's. I have Buffalo Trace. I have Yellowstone. I have 40 Creek, which that you brought up Crown. The blenders who were with Crown forever left Crown and opened up 40 Creek. So I actually prefer 40 Creek over Crown. It's actually like $2 cheaper, but their Crown Reserve is better than Crown Reserve, the 40 Creek Reserve, and it's actually cheaper. It's more of a small batch. And I've got, what else do I have? I think I have like 50. I can't remember all of them. I got like 15 or 20 bottles in there. I've got some pictures where it's a big cart with whiskeys on it. It's in some of my pictures. If you know the thumbnail pictures, y'all can see it. I mean, like where I've got a gun and you can see it in the background. Ooh, 89 Corvette L98. Motors at the machine shop. Sweet. That's awesome, man. Yeah. Fun, 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 man. Crown and pineapple. Okay. I'll tell you what I really like. I like vodka, like a good Texas vodka. You know, we've got Tito's and stuff like that, but I have another one. It's called Texas vodka, and I think it's better than Tito's. Um, I like vodka and Sprite Zero. It's super refreshing, but man, you got to be careful because it's so smooth. I mean, you'll pump down like a big old jug of it or one of these big old things of it, and you won't even know it. So it'll hit you at the end. You're like, oh crap, I've already drank like 6 shots and didn't even know it. So, you know, it is good though. Uh oh. What's up, Rabbi? How are you? I achieved maximum. Oh man. Congrats on your move, and I'm glad you sold your house and all that other stuff. I think Rabbi moved to Tennessee, I think, from Texas. Let's see. Big Johnson, do you own a Ruger 9 takedown? If so, do you like it? No, sir, I do not have one. I really don't have that much experience with those. I've shot one, but it wasn't mine. Um, haven't even, I just shot it. My buddy was like, hey, shoot this. But I don't have a ton of experience with it. And I don't talk out my ass. If I don't have experience with something or longevity with it, I definitely will let you know. Ooh, man, man, man. Shadow 2 compact or DWX compact? I know which one I would choose. As of right now, if I had to choose, like I had to take one, and if it fit my hand, that's the thing. I've been wanting to get either one of those and physically put it in my hand. If neither one of them fit my hand, I don't want it. I don't. Um, and I already have the Staccato C2. So is either one of these going to be that big of a difference? I don't know. Um, I do like the Shadow 2 Compact because it is double action, single action. So you're getting that in a smaller version. However, I love single action too. So that would be a very tough one. They take the same mags. Um, if both of them fit my hand, I would probably get the DWX. Probably. But then again, if one's right in front of me and I really feel it at that time, I mean, who knows? I might have both eventually. I don't know. I mean, I never say never. I do like the Shadow 2 Compact though too. That's cool. Oh, Red Menace is drinking that gin and juice. That gin and juice. Gin and tonic, yep. I drink those sometimes. Depends on where I am. Oh, I haven't tried Uncle Nearest, Clyde. There's a lot of them I probably need to try. I know, AR. I've got a good Texas vodka in the fridge. I always keep my vodkas in the fridge, in the garage fridge. Um, man, I really, really like this vodka, and I think it's better than Tito's. It's like triple distilled or 5 times distilled or something. It's super smooth. And it's really not expensive, and I can't think of the name of it, but it's probably the same damn one. Oh man, R&R. Whew. I have I have had that back in the day because it was cheap. You could buy a jug of that shit cheap. And that's the thing, Pistol Pete. I'm a rail guy, so I think they really screwed the pooch on the DWX when they didn't put a rail on it. That's I'm like, what? Come on. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, I might just get the compact. I've seen a big before where likes are from another video. Huh. Okay. I've seen a bug before. Pirate rum with coconut pineapple juice and a dash of orange liqueur. See, I'm not a sweet person. Sweet drinks, I don't know why. I mean, I'm not saying I can't drink them. It's just I don't like a lot of sweet stuff, when it comes to alcohol for some reason. I mean, I can drink a margarita and stuff occasionally, but I just don't like a lot of sweet stuff. I guess I'm just old school. And back, I mean, hell, my grandfather used to say, if it ain't burning, it ain't worth drinking. So I don't know about that, Poncho. Thinking about it, I might get the DWX because of the rail. It totally slipped my mind about that. That's what I'm saying. I want to see both, put my hands on both. I know, Red Menace. I was just joking. I was going to say, you're probably too young to remember the song by Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. It's pretty funny. Oh, two more thumbs up and I hit 50 thumbs up. That's awesome. Man, Red Menace, I'd have to go look at the damn bottle to tell you the damn name of it. Next time I'll write it down. AR Patriot, it's probably the same damn thing. I bet you it's the same one that you're talking about is what I have, and I really do like it. Black Velvet. I mean, I've got some Canadian whiskeys. I'm not saying they're bad or anything, but and a rebate. Oh, man, there's a lot of alcohol back in the day when I was young. I probably almost died from drinking. Shit, Thunderbird, all that crap, that cheap crap we used to buy. That might be it, Red Menace. Like I said, I can't remember the damn name of it. It might be Tower Vodka. I know that it's in a big, I bet the big bottle. It's clear and it has like a white label. It's kind of a manila colored label, and black writing on it. So if that's what that Tower Vodka is, I just remember the label. I just don't remember what it said. Sipping on Gin and Juice, Chicago Mike. That's it. That was a hell of a song back in the day. Captain Morgan. What optic is on your 12-inch 308? It's a thermal. It is a thermal. So it's not, I mean, I can shoot it during the day as well, but it's a thermal optic. Ooh, Four Loko. We don't even want to talk about that mess. No Four Loko. Let's see here. I want to see what this guy said, just out of curiosity. He said something. Oh, also, I had a guy asking because it's a particular video where I did the Staccato C2 and I have the Threat Cadre comp on it and I'm shooting it and I do it in slow motion to show how flat it is. Then I've got other videos where I've done the non-comped version and then the comped version and all that. But this guy was pissed off because in the same video that I was showing the comp and how it works and how flat it was, that I didn't also put the non-threaded barrel in that exact same video, take the gun apart, put the non-threaded barrel in, take the other one out, and shoot it in slow motion, and then put the threaded barrel back in and shoot it in slow motion on the exact same video. So he was pissed off about that. And I'm like, you apparently haven't ever watched my videos because I've got videos with the comp and without the comp. So, and I've done slow motion in both. Big J, is a Vortex 1 to 8 by 24 first focal plane a decent scope? Yes. Depending on the Vortex, I mean, I like the Razor 1 to 6. What's the other one? Not the Razor. Vortex makes good scopes. And plus they have the lifetime warranty on them. But yeah, the 1 to 8 by 24 first focal plane is a good scope. I mean, it's a good distance. So yes. Pineapple on pizza. Yes, I like it. I like pineapple on pizza. Now, when I went to Italy, I was joking with the Italian guy at the pizza place in Italy, and I said, "Do you have any pineapple?" I knew what he was going to tell me. And oh my God, I think he thought that I was asking to take his first child with me back to America. Uh, and I was like, "I'm just joking with you. I'm just joking." Because boy, they don't play that over there. But yeah, I like pineapple on pizza. I like pineapple and jalapenos. So you get the sweet and the spicy, and then I do a bunch of the crushed red pepper and Tabasco sauce on pizza. Ooh, no anchovies for me. Ugh. Nope, no anchovies. Not an anchovy guy. Thunderbird. Yeah. Yeah, Chicago Mike has a Burris uh, PX 420 by 50 on his Ruger Precision 308. Cool, man. I got a Vortex Razor something on mine. I always forget the numbers, but people on here have probably already memorized it. But I think it's a something by 54. I always forget the damn numbers. Yeah. The Canadian bacon really doesn't bother me. It depends on where you get it from. Big Johnson, what are your thoughts on Illinois requiring registration for banned semi-auto rifles? Do you think there will be a success court challenge next year, or am I hoping too much? Honestly, Jason, I think anything that infringes on any of our 2A rights that were given to us by God are wrong. So, I mean, I will, all of them are, they're just tyrants. It's ridiculous. They should just leave us alone and go after the criminals. Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all saw this. I saw a report that we are like, what was it? We are ranked, I don't know, we're not number one in gun deaths. It was, I forget what, we're like number 9 or something like that out of all the, countries and all this other stuff. However, here's the kicker. If you took out Chicago, LA, or California, it was Chicago, California. Where was the other ones? New York. If you took out like four or five of these states, we would actually be 264, and all of the states are blue and have strict gun laws. Oh, Detroit. Detroit was one of them as well. So those 4 or 5 states that are all blue that have the strictest gun laws, those 5 states are causing us to be like number 9. If they weren't in there, we would be like 264th. So, what does that tell you? These little stupid gun laws or whatever that they try to push don't work. I mean, felons are going to be felons. They can't read. All you're doing is you're affecting the law abiding citizens. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. So there's going to be a point where everybody has to decide if they're going to be an outlaw or not. That's what it's coming to. Strike Eagle, yes. Strike Eagle's good. Yep. That's a good one. No fish bait. Pepperoni, jalapeno, and pineapple. Yeah. I like that. Canadian Bacon was a shitty movie. I don't guess I ever saw that movie. Whiskey makes me wild, but vodka makes me sleepy. Tequila, I can drink tequila and I actually like it, but it does not do well for me if I drink too much of it. There'll be a pile of clothes somewhere. Exactly. And that was part of what I was saying, and I titled this chat, It's Getting Old. all of this crap they're trying to ram down our throats, whether it be, you know, transgender, you know, this, that, you know, if people want to do that, that's cool. I don't care. But you don't need to ram everything down our throat and trying to take away our rights and trying to, you know, oh, you know, what's good for me or them, but not for me, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yet they don't want us to be armed, but they have armed security. Um, you know, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense if you just really think about it. Everywhere they go, they have armed security. And a lot of these actors and actresses that are preaching all this, oh my gosh, you don't need guns. They have armed security. We don't. I mean, we don't have, you know, we are our own protector of ourselves and our families and loved ones, and hell, even innocent bystanders. We would, you know, a lot of us would defend. We don't even know the people. I don't care if they're black, white, green, purple. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. We all bleed red. I don't care. And if you look at what the government's trying to do, they're trying to divide all of us, whether it be race, religion, you know, whatever it is, you know, 2A, non 2A. They're just trying to divide everybody because if you keep them fighting amongst, they don't go after, they don't spearhead together. So think about it. If we were all on the same page, who are we going after? Them. They don't want that. So if everybody would just chill out and become one, that's a bigger army to argue with and fight amongst. So, but that's a whole nother thing. Sorry if I'm going off on a tangent. Sometimes we just, I'm telling you, if I went off and spoke like I have before, and trust me, I have given Cornyn people an earful, and Cornyn's a jackass, and he's from Texas, and he's pushing all this anti-gun bullshit. I've contacted Cruz many, many times, his office. I mean, hell, I even have him in my phone, and I'm not making it up. You know, I mean, I've called, I've left messages, I've done all of this stuff, voicemail recordings, the whole thing, you know. But Cornyn, I'm just like, and we got people that freeze up, can't talk, 900 years old, don't even need a driver's license, or probably don't have a driver's license because it's already been taken away, but yet they're running the country and running our states, or some of these states. What the hell? And I mean, Senate, Congress, all that other stuff. And trust me, you know, my parents are old, getting older and things like that. I'm not against the elderly. But when you can't, when you've lost faculties and things like that, you don't need to be doing this kind of shit. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what they're going to keep doing, Jason. Everything is going to be illegal. Hell, this pen will be illegal. You know, glasses will be illegal because you can see better. Stupidest shit I've ever heard. Clyde is asking, what slings do you use on your rifle? I've got Larry Vickers. They are Blue Force gear. I've got the padded, non-padded. I've got, what is it? Tactical, what is it? Fat Boy Tactical or something. It's a newer sling company. Man, I've got multiple, I mean, tons of slings. I'm just trying to think of all the brands of them. I think I have one Edward Sherman. I mean, I like the Larry Vickers ones, you know, because you can pull the thing and adjust it up and down. I mean, I would just say get whatever is comfortable for you. I don't have any Magpul ones. I'm not against them. I just don't have any of them. Yeah, I mean, nobody whoops that ass anymore. I mean, all these kids that backtalk people and don't respect people, I'm telling, they're going to keep doing that till they get pumped in or punched in the face. You know, everybody's a badass till they get punched in the face, and I think Mike Tyson said that, but it's true. Everybody can talk and they can be a big dog barking, but when you punch them in the face, they shut the hell up and they cry like a little bitch, and that's what needs to happen. And all these, I mean, hell, we might as well get into it. This, the inflation, I mean, that's getting old. 401k taxing everything. That $1 you make is taxed 9,000 times. Your property, if you own your house, you really don't, because if you don't pay your property tax, they take your house. I mean, it's just a bunch of bullshit. And you can rightfully own your cars. I own all my cars. So you own your cars. However, if you don't pay your registration and all this other bullshit, you can't drive it. It can sit in your driveway and they can't tow it off, but you can't drive it legally. I mean, so you really don't own your car, because if you get pulled over and your registrations, they can't impound it. Then you have to go get it registered and then, get it out of hock. I mean, yeah, Crenshaw is horrible. Yeah, that McConnell, man, he's got some shit going on. That second time freezing up is no joke. That's not good. And I mean, I'm talking, my dad. I love my dad to death. And y'all know this. He's going through chemo, radiation, and he's got dementia, a little Alzheimer's, and things like that. He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but I guarantee you, in the situation he's in now, he's sharper than the people running the place. Rich B is saying, when are we cooking tri-tip again? Anytime soon? Yeah, I'll probably be getting some more of them and cooking them. That was really, really good. That thing came out amazing. That was my first official tri-tip on my own. I mean, not that I needed help, but I've monitored people, buddies that are cooking them and stuff, and like, hey, watch this, or I'm like, hey, this one's been cooking too long. Just giving them some tips when I've been at their house. But it's my first one because I'm an AKA, Texas brisket guy, and tri-tip, kind of came from California. But I really enjoyed it. I'll definitely be doing more of them. And you can smoke it like a brisket, or you can grill it like a steak. And what I chose to do was I smoked that and grilled it. Did a reverse sear on it, came out perfectly. I mean, man, my wife loved it. I even cut it all up, took it over to my parents so they could enjoy it. And yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, and Scott, Dianne Feinstein, I don't know if you know this, maybe you do. She had to release all of her personal, like for her home and bills and all that. She gave all of the legal rights to her daughter because she can't handle her own personal business, but yet she's voting. And she asked her assistant, what are we voting on? And he told her, hey, here's what you need to vote. Here's how you need to vote. She did. I mean, okay, you're telling someone how to vote. But, you go into the ballots and do everything secretively. But yeah, you're just saying, yeah, here, check here. A person that's already given up her rights because she has not correct faculties. I mean, it makes no sense. Yep, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. That's exactly it. Yep, all the rich men north of, Richmond. Yeah. Yeah, Floridian, it's good. It's definitely different, but I mean, I'm good to go and locked in and enjoying it. It's just a lot of travel, which I'm used to. It's not a big deal, but it is a lot of travel. Oh, that's awesome, Clyde. Yes, definitely prayers going out to her. That's awesome. Yeah, my dad had his first chemo and radiation yesterday, and then today he had radiation. And he has to do the radiation every day or 5 days a week. Big Johnson, when you purchase a new car, the certificate of origin is taken by the state and they issue you a title. Yeah, but if you transfer or move to a different state and you go to that state, you have to pay tax on some of them again. which I think's horseshit, but it is what it is. But anybody, it's about 8:19. Y'all want to keep going, or you have any more questions or comments or anything like that? Oh, I did get my new LTC in the mail. I had to renew it. I don't even know how many how many I've renewed. My wife asked me that. She's like, "How many times have you renewed yours?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I've had it for freaking ever." And I saved my old ones. I just stack them in a pile, and I've got them in a box somewhere. And I didn't go back and look when I got my very first one, but I think I've been carrying for, man, 20, is it 20 years, 25 years? Hell, I don't remember now. It's been a long time. Yeah, I guess it's shit, 30 years, something like that. But yeah, so I had to renew it. It was up for renewal. It's really not up yet. It won't be till my birthday, which is still a ways away, but I just went ahead and renewed it and got it over with. Thank you, Screaming Skulls. I appreciate everybody. I know y'all have been great. And like I said, I support everyone out there. We're all going through weird stuff with family or personal stuff, so yeah, I mean, I pray for, all of y'all. I mean, whatever little things are happening, because, we all have stuff going on, whether it be my dad, or personally. I mean, there's just always something. It just seems like something's always going on. In your vehicle experience, what make, model pickup would you recommend? Looking for an older, high mileage local beat around. Whew. Mm, how old? Are you talking 80s, 90s, 2000s? Um, if you're just looking for something high mileage, yeah, I mean, Pistol Pete pretty much kind of hit it. Tacomas, man, they run and they last forever. Um, you can have valve cover gaskets leaking here and there. And then also it depends on what's been done to it. You can get some higher mileage trucks, where it could have rear end issues, transmission issues, cooling issues, um, valve knock. Um, Man, it depends on, of course, Floridian, how the person's taken care of it. Have they done everything correctly? There's so many variables there. Um, a lot of the Dodges, some of them had transmission problems. But if somebody's had a freshly rebuilt transmission, that could be a good option, because the bodies and suspension last forever, and the engines do too. 5.3 GMs, I'm not a real big fan of them. Um, Fords, the older Fords do last very long, but I would stay away from the EcoBoost on a high mileage, because the turbos can fail when they go out. That's 6 to 7,000 a pop, because there's two of them. It just really depends. But if you kind of want one that is just easily fixable and everybody can work on, I mean, Toyota, the Tacoma is really hard to beat. And yeah, a lot of people, I was gonna say, if you're going really old, like 80s to 90s, Chevys are good to go, and the Fords were good to go back then too. Yeah, 22 RE, that thing was bulletproof, man. Whew. I had one in the 80. I had an 86 4Runner where you could take the top off of it. I think it was an 86, and man, that damn engine was. I think that thing had, when I sold it to a kid that it was just going to be his first vehicle, and this one was pretty sweet that I had. Um, it was lifted, and and hell, it was a four banger. It didn't have a lot of power, but it's a great engine. I think it had like 169,000 miles on it. It was not even broke in yet, and I really wish I would have kept it, but I just didn't need it at that time. I had two personal trucks and two toy of my own. Jason, I really don't have a lot of experience. I really don't have experience with those. Just being honest with you, I don't have any experience with those. Never shot one, never seen one in person. Um, so I don't know. Or maybe I saw one and I didn't know, but I just don't have a lot of experience with those. So I don't want to speak out my butt. Rich B, my first CZ P10F. Love that gun. So what's a good second CZ to get? I know that a general question, but there are so many choices. Since you have the P10F, I'm just going to say this. You might consider a P09 because the mags are interchangeable. So there's that. However, you could get a CZ P07, which is just the smaller versions like a Glock 19 of the it's a Glock 19 version of the P09. Same damn gun. One's just big. One's like a Glock 19 size. One's bigger than a Glock 17. And the P07 will take your P10F mags, but they'll just hang out of the bottom. So for mag compatibility, that's a cool option. And you already have a striker fire, so that would give you a double action, single action gun. So there's an option there. Or you could get the DWX full size, and your P10F mags from your CZ P10F mag will go into the full size DWX, but that's really a Dan Wesson. I'm a big fan of the Shadow 2, but you're not going to have any mag compatibility there. Or you might consider the CZ Shadow 2 compact. Just something to think about that. Ruger American or Savage 110 chambered in 308. Both of them are good guns. I do prefer the Savage trigger, the Accu trigger, more than the Ruger American. That's just a personal opinion. So I would probably go the Savage, honestly. But they're both great guns. Getting into a 1911, is it still worth a look at a single stack or go ahead and do the double stack? Man, it's completely up to you, Clyde. I mean, some people say the 1911 is still going to have plenty of bullets, which it is. I mean, you're probably not going to be cranking off 9 or 10 or 8 or 9, but, it is what it is. The single stack, sometimes, now if you think about it, the rail, or excuse me, the slide and all of that is what's going down your pants. The grip is staying out. On 1911 or 2011, the slides are the same width. Basically, it's the grip that's wider. So it depends on what you feel comfortable with, for your hands and things like that. I own both. I love the 1911s. I love the 2011s. But if I was only going to buy one, I personally would get a 2011. That's just me. There's not a wrong or a right with that. There you go, Pistol Pete. Yeah. All that's bull crap, Jason. They're just trying to hang him because they don't want him to run. It's just, all that's just dog and pony show. Get a high power. High power is a great gun too. It's just the optics, man. I'm an optic ready guy. I'm all about the optic ready. So, I'm not I have iron guns. I can still shoot iron guns. They're just not my preferred choice. And I'll tell you where it really stands out is when I'm shooting from a distance. If I'm shooting up close within 10 yards, 7 or 10 yards, not that big of a deal. 15, 25, yeah, I can still see, but if you're front sight focused and still kind of, trying to fuzz your background, I could get the hits on a body, but is it going to be as more accurate? No. And then also, the way I look at it is when you're staring at the front sight, what are you not looking at? Everything around you. Your bad guys coming this way, bad guys coming that way. So when you're target focused and you've got all your peripheral and you're just looking through an optic, man, your head's up, I see so much more of the world and what's around me. So that's the way I look at it. Yeah, I still like 45 Clyde. So if you're looking at a 45, then it's probably going to be a 1911. Jason, that's where I would be talking out of my butt. um, I man, I can't. I honestly, I would love to help you out. Who I would tune into or ask this is Washington Gun Lawyer. Washington Gun Law, I think, is his channel. It's a great channel, and he's a lawyer, and he's got a 1-800 number. You can call him, and he'll actually tell you, what you should be looking at. I would check him out because he stays up on all of that. Man, it's hard for me to work and keep up on everything. So I just don't want to tell you anything correctly. And if I did that for Washington or Illinois or any of that other kind of stuff, I'd be speaking out of my ass. And I just don't prefer to do that. Y'all know that I stay in my lane when it comes to some of this stuff, and I don't give ignorant responses or stuff that I'm not highly educated on. Hello, Casey Dolph. How are you? And Pistol Pete's exactly right. They want you to stay confused. That's what the whole gimmick is. But it is 8:30. I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I appreciate y'all so much. Definitely love one another. Let's spread the love around. Check out all the other channels that are on here. Some great channels pop on. And I'm still working on getting that guest. We're just trying to lock down a time. I just don't want to tell you who it is because I don't want you to be, if it doesn't happen, hold my feet to the fire. But I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all have a great night. Remember, an unarmed nation is a very weak nation, so we all got to carry on. Thanks, everyone. Y'all be careful. Love one another.